Hello. This is an overview of the authorities as written in the Human Design System. When it comes to authority, what do you think of when it comes to making decisions? Where and how do you make decisions? This is not really a thing that we're taught in school. This is not a thing we're taught as we get older. It's sort of a thing that we happen upon. And let's get into that deeper conversation of how and where we make decisions in our world. Our decisions do not come from the mind. The mind is like a computer that is capable of analyzing and finding valuable information inside of concepts and ideas. But as far as making a decision for yourself of what is best for you, all the time, that is not coming from the mind itself. The mind is never the authority. So let's step into what is the authority, okay? There's 7 different ways in which we can have an authority. I'm going to give them to you in their hierarchical standpoint. The first one is the solar plexus. That's the emotional authority, and that's about 47 to 50% of the world. They are emotionally based authority. Then you have sacral authority, and then splenic authority, heart or ego authority, G or G-center authority, self-authority. Then you have environmental or no internal authority. And then you also have the moon authority or a lunar cycle authority, which is also a non-internal authority. So 96% of humans within the human design construct of seeing things have an internal access to authority in their body, not their mind, that tells them what is correct for them, what is going to lead them into the next dynamic that they need to learn or that they need to be present in to offer something to someone else. Because when we are uniquely acting from the dynamic of our own authority, we become an authority for others who need an outside authority, right? Our uniqueness, our solidity in being who we are, gives them the ability to hear other truths to see if that is going to resonate for them. So by serving ourselves, we are deeply serving others. The mind. You need to make an ally of the mind, because the mind is going to be analyzing these different structures and constructs and trying to make decisions for you. And really, you have to feel into your experiment. That's why they say, always come back to your strategy and your authority. And the strategy is based off of your aura, and the authority is based off of what center is defined in that hierarchical standpoint. Excuse me, that gives you the first level of indication of where you should move to next. So now, you might have multiple centers that are lit up in the realms of the authority. When it comes to the centers within the human body, it's these 5 red centers, when they are lit up, that resonate with being an authority center. Each person is going to have a primary one. If you have the emotional center defined, this automatically makes you an emotional authority. The next up would be the sacral. If this is defined for you and this is not defined for you, then you are a sacral authority. Okay, then it keeps going. Then the splenic authority, then you have the will authority, then you have the G center or the self authority. And the mental or environmental authority is when this one up here, when these guys are lit up and nothing else is. Okay? And that mental authority is not one that comes from the mind. It comes from the information that the mind perceives when it analyzes data, when it talks with others, when it experiences the world around them, when they experience other people acting within their design and their authority, then they can sense what it is that is going to be correct for them. And each one of those has a very unique way of approaching making decisions. And it also has a very unique way of feeling it in the body when it is correct for them. So the next couple of videos coming up in this sequence will be going through one by one of what each one of those are, how to sense it, and how to really get a grasp on what that's all about. For when the mind has been freed from decision making, it can take its rightful place as a valued and valuable member of the family of beings inside of our body, and it can help to be a witness to our life, and it can help to show us things that we might be missing, rather than be delegated with the responsibility of making decisions for us. If we are making mental-based decisions, that's kind of like living in the realm of crazy land, right? And so if you're like, oh, I deal with all sorts of battling crazies, or I have, a lot of mental things going on. Remember, we're not supposed to live from our minds. And our minds are going to tell us a lot of information. But that information is not something we should be using to make decisions based on. Not on what our brain is telling us that we should do. When we are shoulding on ourselves, or we're receiving shoulding from other people, it's akin to being shat upon, right? So we don't want to be doing that to ourselves. All right, I look forward to diving in deeper with the individual authorities. Much love, beautifuls. My name is Rainey Ford. I'm an herbalist and inner cartographer, founder of Nemeton and Mountain Woman Medicine. If you are interested in purchasing herbal medicines or discovering your inner mapping, please visit my website in the description below. Have a wonderful day, beautifuls.